It's that time again. It's the podcast that takes your personal and professional life to a whole new level. Whether you're selling a product, selling a service, or selling yourself, one thing is for sure. You're always selling for life. All right, and welcome to another episode of the Selling for Life podcast. I'm your host, Steve, and this is a podcast about more than just selling stuff. It's about a lot more, and if you stick around, we think you'll get a lot out of it. At least that's my hope, and that's Al Alexander's hope, too, and he is with me for this podcast. He was absent last week, but we're back in the house. Al, how you doing?
Hello, how are you doing?
And believe it or not, this is episode 22. I'm doing really well, and let me ask you how your Christmas was.
Well, you know, with family like mine, 7 children, it is a blessed time.
Yes, sir.
And I have wonderful extended family as well.
Cool deal.
I like my in-laws, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, very good.
I'm married well.
Very well. Very good. What'd you get? Anything extra special and something that you didn't expect?
I got like a little Bose speaker.
Okay.
Go in front of a TV or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got a couple of those.
Super deal. Okay.
That was cool.
And more importantly, what did you get for somebody that you were really proud of?
I tell you what, Christmas Eve night, I stayed up. Well, actually, I went to bed with my wife, woke up an hour into sleeping with my silent alarm, snuck downstairs, installed a brand new kitchen floor while my wife and children were sleeping.
Really?
Snug in their bed. And my wife woke, and about 6:30 I finished. I was dead, going to sleep. She didn't wake up. And when she woke up at 8, she was surprised with a new kitchen floor.
Cool deal.
Yeah, it is cool.
I think you told me that, but I didn't know how that's how that went down.
Yeah.
No pun intended. How long did it take you to finish a floor in the middle of the night?
So from 1:30 till 6:30.
Oh, are you serious?
5 hours.
Oh, my gosh. That's a labor of love right there.
Exactly.
Can you imagine if she came down and didn't notice?
We have this old kind of like farmhouse.
Right.
She noticed the floor that was there is like 50 years old.
You would have to keep dropping stuff on the floor. Oh, I keep dropping this on the floor.
Yeah.
You would have to draw her attention to it, but you didn't have to. She came down, and her reaction was what you had hoped?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I mean, I woke up like 45 minutes after she woke up.
Oh, okay. So you didn't even get to see her react.
Well, I didn't really care. I just wanted her to be surprised.
Oh, that's so funny. It's opposite of me. I want to see the reaction. I would have recorded it. I would have gotten it on video. I would have... You were just happy that she was going to see it, and sleep was more important than actually seeing her reaction.
Yeah, and she woke up earlier than I did, obviously, to prepare for a brunch, and the brunch was fabulous.
Weren't you stressed out that she was going to wake up in the middle of the night looking for you?
I don't think she cares enough about me to come and look for me.
Well, she could have come down. Did she ever go downstairs in the middle of the night for a snack or water or anything?
No. We have a bathroom upstairs, so...
Gotcha.
Maybe go to the bathroom, but no, okay. I don't think she goes downstairs.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's cool. That's extra special. Very nice. Yeah, Christmas in my house was nice. Opening gifts, and of course, it's about the kids for me. Seeing the kids and how they act and react. That's what it's all about now. And they had a nice Christmas, I think. All right, well, welcome back in the seat, and we have decided to talk about a special topic. And the topic has to do with kind of knowing where you're at and what you're doing. So it brings us to the topic of the day. And the topic of the day is a 30,000-foot view. I was on my way to work today, and this kind of crossed my mind in part because I'm at that point where I need to do a 30,000-foot view in my life. I remember you had talked about this with me at one time, and I really liked it. And I think it's a very important thing to do, and everybody needs to do it. And of course, people out there might be wondering, what do you want to talk about, skydiving or
Yeah, jumping out of airplanes.
So why don't you explain what the 30,000 foot view? I hope I even said it right. Is it 30,000 feet or 20,000 feet, or am I getting the distance wrong? What is the deal?
I think it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Okay, because it could be 10,000 feet.
Well, it won't work if you say you have 1 foot view.
That's true.
So it does matter. It's got to be a substantial distance.
Yeah, the concept, it's an old concept. I didn't bring it up. Right. I didn't make it up.
I know you didn't, but I love it. So go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, so the idea of a 30,000 foot view or any view, elevate your intellectual ideas above your current level of understanding. Mm-hmm. So like if you're in the daily grind or you're in the daily life and doing whatever's going on or dealing with whatever's coming at you, taking that idea of going up high, looking down at it, different perspective, seeing the big picture, all that would happen with a 30, 20, or 10,000 foot view.
What happens is people get in there, like you said, the daily grind, and they get in on one of those hamster wheels. They just go round and round and round, and they're not getting anywhere. And I guess they get used to that. But if they want to have progress in their life and get things accomplished above and beyond just the daily routine, they have to step back, right?
Yeah, I agree. The concept that you can take a higher intellectual thought, you can be aware of a big picture view. You know, some people argue that the 30,000 foot view isn't necessarily a good idea for a big business strategy sense, because the concept of the analogy would take you away from viewing the personal lives of people, right? Or the small interactions about things. But I think you need both. You know, because if you're living amongst everybody with you in your workplace, if you're with your family members daily, and you got that view right on the ground, and you never get to see it from a different perspective, I think you miss or will forget about the reasons why. You know, like, you know, why life, why the world, why the work, why the family, why, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Until you see it from like, wow, there's a big planet here. You know, or you see the landscape of the curvature of the earth. So that's what you get at 30,000 feet.
So the first step is to, if I'm getting you right, is to evaluate why the heck you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. What's the end game, I suppose?
Yeah, the big picture. What's the real basic big picture reason?
So you're putting this into practice.
Not details.
Mm-hmm. Not details. Okay.
Big vision.
Okay, so someone's listening now, and they're feeling that they're overwhelmed. They have impending doom. They just don't know which way to go. They don't have an idea of where their finances are, where their career is going, or even their relationships, and they're just feeling the pressure of having to make a change. And they say to themselves while they're listening, yeah, this 30,000 foot view thing sounds good. I might even go to 40,000 feet, they say. What are their steps that they need to take to start that journey above where they're at?
Let me give you a perspective. When you hear about the way people refer to our planet, say 500 years ago, what did they think about our planet?
It was flat.
And what would they think about going to the edge of that flatness? What do you think would happen?
They'll fall off.
So they stayed in a certain area as, I guess, with fear that if they moved too far west, east, north, south, whatever, that they would fall somewhere. So the idea, you know, in that analogy and that concept gives you a completely different perspective. In that perspective, like I look at the way it is with God. If I was going to go ahead and stay in my daily thought and life and grind, then I might put God into this little box of my life when he is so much vaster than that. Right? I can't even view his reach. I can't even view his vastness, right? Just like the view of our world, the view of our universe. If I'm in it, right? On the earth, I just can't see the earth. Looking down at the situation from a different perspective can give you almost like a refreshing restart on why things are what they do, you know, or why things are the way they are. Why am I, you know, what's the real reason I'm here in this particular position, say at work? Let's take, for instance, somebody who's working at a receptionist job at a company. What do you think the receptionist thinks about their job?
They're answering phones and they're just transferring the calls.
Precisely. That's what you would think, right?
Every day.
So I'm one of the owners of a company. I look at the reception job as much more than that. The voice of the company, the first impression to set our tone for the motto that we have. Start off with our core values with the first interaction. I mean, I'm looking at this as winning people to our company. That's what I'm looking at. What was the perspective difference? I'm looking at a higher view completely.
Yeah.
But can the reception look at it as a higher view?
They could, but they don't. Generally, I would imagine.
Well, they will now once they hear this.
Okay, so you have people listening, and they're finding life just overwhelming, and they're receptionist or a homemaker or anybody, and even a profession like being an attorney or something. What do you suggest after they decide to look at their life from a 30,000-foot view? How do they incorporate changes in the things that they see that need to be changed?
You're going to find out from the bigger perspective what's important. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to find out how one thing affects the whole. Mm-hmm. You're going to find out where a section fits in to the rest of everything. Like, for instance, you're talking about like a homemaker or somebody who's an attorney or someone who's whatever. In those particular areas, at family time, what's the real purpose of family? Mm-hmm. If you're a husband who is working, taking care of your kids when you can, and doing the things at home to help around the house with the things that are shared duties, you know, you're looking at these daily tasks. Where does the husband fit in? You know, what's the big picture purpose for you as a husband, as a father? And taking a look at that stuff, I think you'd be able to identify, based on what is really important, some areas that you are missing.
Right.
I think like blind spots almost, because sometimes if you're looking at the ground floor, you have obstacles in the way to see past, to see outside the box, so to speak, outside this one perspective.
Right.
Same thing with you mentioned housewife, somebody who works in the home, you know, in a sense is managing those things throughout the day, children, especially if ones are before they go to school. There's a lot of effort, a lot of work. And in those daily grinds, what do you lose sight of? Mm-hmm. Like the real purpose.
Right.
Why?
Right.
How do I fit this? How do I fit into this?
Right.
And how is it going to really help my kids in the future? How does it help my husband? How do I grow as a person?
Right.
But looking at it from a big picture view almost gives you a feel of a long-term accomplishment or goal. Mm-hmm.
So you'll identify certain areas of your life that you might have a habit of doing something or a routine, and you don't even know why you're doing it anymore, other than that you just started doing it, so you got to keep doing it. And then with this new perspective, you might be able to say to yourself, I can eliminate this. I can adjust this. I can scale back on this or that, because your goal is, like, just say, of wanting to be a better father. Spending time with your buddies on Friday night at poker night means you can't be with your kids. So you've done poker night for years. Well, maybe it's time to stop playing poker on Friday nights and spend more time with your kids, because ultimately what you want to do is have a better relationship with your kids. That is really what it's all about. First of all, a relationship with God and His Son. And then through that relationship or the relationships around you, your family, wife, kids. So this topic has, I mean, we can go on, and this is probably a topic we can break up into different segments, because once you discover you want to have a 30,000-foot view, then there's a whole nother approach to it, and how to incorporate things into your life, and so we're going to end it with this, that, you know, the 30,000-foot view is the beginning of being able to make changes in your life for the better.
Okay, so
that's what we'll call this, the inspirational message that you have. Inspiration, Al, what do you got?
Yeah, well, our motto at our work, called Conequip Parts, is a world of parts with a personal touch. We spent weeks thinking about that motto. It keeps us looking at things in this perspective of what really is important. The world of parts with a personal touch. All the little things and activities that we go through, the obstacles, we got to personalize it, because that's what's really the big picture. Mm-hmm. We have to realize we reach across the world for things and find things for people. Mm-hmm. That's what our job is. Mm-hmm. That's the big picture view. So that's why we put that motto together.
Very nice.
All right?
I like it. Okay, so that's it. Remember, you can send us an email at contact@sellingforlife.com. Check out our website, sellingforlife.com. We've got some cool stuff there. We'd love for you to check it out. So remember, whether you're selling burritos at a burrito stand or you're trying to convince the person you're tandem jumping with at 30,000 feet, just get through the door and go. We'll be all right. The parachute will open. One thing is for sure, you are
always selling for life.